Today, Nationers, we're going to be taking a deep dive into Lofi Girl. I am very certain you know who Lofi Girl is if you're looking for chill beats or moments of relaxation, especially while you are studying. Lofi Girl has lore. And believe it or not, Lofi Girl's lore runs deep. And today, we're going to find out the entire lore of Lofi Girl. Leave a like, subscribe, and let's get right into it.
Lofi Girl is special. Sometimes we're fortunate enough to see a modern classic, a new cultural icon unfolding right in front of us. Her presence on YouTube feels so ubiquitous, it feels surprising to remember her character only began in 2017. What started as nothing more than a looping gif of Studio Ghibli's Whisper of the Heart has grown into so much more, not just in its reach to a massive audience, but it's also artistically grown in ways I've been delightfully surprised by, most of which happened in 2023. By 2016, it was channels like Chill Hop Records and Chilled Cow that began to popularize long plays of music mostly intended for background noise, lasting hours at a time. The sound of the genre has transformed a lot, as originally many songs featured samples from popular movies and other pop culture.
I have designed this speaker to amplify my thoughts so people will quit asking me for sandwiches.
That's kind of cool. I didn't know.
I don't know what you're talking about, Space Ghost.
Go ahead,
It is kind of cool.
Although now that these channels are major institutions, they play it safe with fully original music. The influence of Lofi Girl streams are clear as day. In modern times, most YouTube background music streams share some of her aesthetics, from her cozy outfit and bedroom, the use of snug seasons like fall and winter, or simply headphone-wearing characters centered around nostalgia. Additionally, many music stream channels still use nostalgic shots from anime, copying the original strategy put on by Chilled Cow as they began with this shot of Shizuku working on her novel. Some channels even use alternate clips.
That is so cool, by the way, because I guess I was thinking that was Lofi Girl just like younger, but no, that was actually, and it's kind of cool because that is the exact same shot that Lofi Girl is in, but Chilled Cow was just taking anime footage that was reference of someone studying already. And it's so weird that that one scene became this massive like industry of lo-fi music to study to. And wow, that is so cool.
Of the very same movie. I believe the biggest reason students and workers around the world connect so much with Lofi Girl and her focused flow state juxtaposed by her cozy environment is because school and work is stressful, and we need some level of comfort to get through it. The instrumental music of the channel doesn't only help students focus, but its pairing with calming artwork is a nice counterbalance from the stark, stressful task of schoolwork. Personally, I don't think any movie scene, character, or depiction of a student working could have been more perfect to use for a study playlist than Shizuku writing her novel. In 1995, Shizuku was adapted by Studio Ghibli from the 1989 manga of the same title, Whisper of the Heart. Ghibli is universally associated with its beautiful, calming visuals and its very non-American pacing, allowing characters to sit in moments of stillness.
That's so cool. I don't know how many people would allow that.
However, Ghibli is not all about relaxation.
2026, you know?
In fact, it is equally associated with its non-sugar-coated depictions of reality and nature, from adversity faced by children protagonists with an abundance of self-autonomy, to realistic depictions of defeat and disappointment.
Well, it's kind of cool because you can see the style, like, in Lofi Girl. Especially, like, the eyes, like, those eyes.
The reason Shizuku is so focused here is because she is sacrificing her grades in school and time spent with her family to write her very own original novel, despite everyone else's concern.
There's Lofi Girl. They just don't know it yet.
She works herself to the bone, gets very little sleep, and when she's finished...
There's no need to be upset. Just have a little patience.
She feels like a failure. This movie's themes center around the passion, extreme focus, and sharp determination needed by an obsessed artist.
Oh yeah, that's a neck of a violin, or viola, yeah.
まるで魔法みたい。そのくらいのもん誰でも作れるよ。 まだ全然ダメさ。
but also the severe anxiety and burnout equally experienced by students and how difficult this balance is. These themes paired with the soothing visuals of the film made Shizuku working at
You can't tell me that that is not Lo-Fi Girl. I know that it's different. It's a different channel, but somebody took the same concept, understood what it was, and just made their own. Same kind of like square framing with the photo, the headphones, head looking down. Like, imagine it's kind of funny because when you're talking about music way back when that's now getting popular on TikTok. Now imagine in 2017, the person that would have drawn and animated and, you know, made this film or worked on this scene or just in general, the people for it 20 plus years later to then be a widespread like visual for college students. Like that's so freaking cool. And you never know when your work is going to pop off. And I think that this is a testament to that.
desk the perfect backdrop for Chilled Cow's study playlist. It gave listeners a friend to work alongside them, focused but also stressed just like them. The fact that these streams are calming and make workers feel better also implies that there are fears and anxieties giving us stress and a need for relief.
And you understand that black implies white. Self implies other.
Batman, defend your time.
Life implies death. Or shall I say, death implies life.
Jake, get out of that water right now!
The heavy weight of our emotions as we wonder if we will fail a
That's so
class
funny.
or if we can be alone with our thoughts long enough to focus up and accomplish tasks and goals. Ghibli is often considered the greatest animators of all time because of their attention to detail, ranging from their incredibly lifelike human movement of its characters to their beautifully painted backgrounds. This
Low-key
made their
same.
film
I can
also the
binge
perfect
candy all
reference
day
for
while I'm
Lo-Fi Girl
working.
to start from. The original Shizuku stream ended because only a few months after its start, the radio was struck down by a copyright claim for its use of the Ghibli film. It is really impressive and noble what the channel's creator Dimitri decided to do from here. Rather than pivoting to a loop of another movie, or even just trying again with a horizontally flipped copy of the original, as I'm sure many YouTubers would try, they decided to go for longevity. The channel decided
Yes.
to put in extra effort, creating something that would keep the channel alive from a legal standpoint, but also push it forward with its original creativity and high quality. Chilled Cow committed
It's the same person. I should have known. I should have known. I should have known. I should have known. Guys, please forgive me. It's been 10 plus years. I feel like I also remember around that time, like Chilled Cow, because I was kind of into stuff like that, or like, especially lo-fi music, background music, because I was also doing YouTube, and every time I look up for, or look up on YouTube, like background music for videos, like just background music, most people are watching this, we'll show it to everyone. That, I should have known. I should have known. Should have known. Like, this is when somebody just like, huh, that looks like it's successful. Let me kind of change it a little bit. This is, I don't need to explain it.
Colombian artist Juan Pablo to draw an original character
Juan Pablo,
replacement
what
for
a
Shizuku.
name.
But not
That's
only
so
that,
funny.
she was drawn, animated, and given a background painting nearly to the quality and detail of an
the other
actual
one.
Studio Ghibli film.
Yeah.
Hayao Miyazaki is scrupulous for the attention to detail of his films and movement of his characters. This is
sick.
why I find the quality of Lo-Fi Girl so impressive. Lo-Fi Girl has excellent lighting with shadows and highlights that move with her. She has well-animated fabric movement with the adjustment of her arms, headphone googly eyes that shake as she adjusts her head. Instead of having her simply write the same line
When it
over
says
and over
Chill
again,
Cow on the
there's
side.
actually varied actions, from turning a page to looking out the window and pausing in a moment of stillness.
When I like how the cat
And finally,
is,
the background painting
like, it
has
gets
exceptional
updated. It's so
painterly
cool.
detail. Lo-Fi Girl remains as not only the most popular, iconic 24/7 music stream,
Heck
the
yeah.
most popular lo-fi hip-hop stream,
Heck
but
yeah.
also, possibly, the highest quality animation of all of them. Or at the very least, the highest quality Studio Ghibli imitation I've seen within the scope of being an independent, small project like a YouTube upload. Many artists try to imitate Studio Ghibli, and
Makes
often,
sense.
even those who are professionals and have dedicated themselves to animation education often fall short,
Bro,
with
got it right
artwork that
first
feels
try.
like the Ghibli uncanny valley. Something is usually just not right. Lo-Fi Girl, on the other hand, sure, maybe isn't exactly perfectly Hayao Miyazaki, but it's pretty damn close.
I mean,
or at the very least, has
that's
a
just
level
like-
of high quality and professionalism that just makes it feel intentional and very artistically made, rather than being something that was cheaply thrown together in a few months just to get back to making some money. However, what's even more impressive,
looks
this
sick.
animation was online only a few months after the original Shizuku clip was taken down, meaning it could potentially have been made in that short period of a time. The
Music
Lo-Fi
is a little
stream
loud
has
here, I
visually
apologize.
improved over the years in a number of cosmetic ways. The window started as just a black rectangle, but eventually it found its city backdrop. A French
kinda
article
nice.
covered the character designer Juan Pablo, who
Juan
was a student
Pablo
of video game
Machado.
and animation school Émile Cole, located in Lyon, France. It was the city of Lyon, France that became Juan's
Wait, so a Colombian made a student that goes to school in France. That's so funny. I know the photo is at least based on the one in the movie, but that's so funny. It's like an American drew a British person that goes to school in Australia. So funny.
used for Lo-Fi Girl. This is again fitting for the original inspiration of Ghibli, as despite the studio's Japanese home and style, Hayao Miyazaki is often very inspired by the architecture and design of European cities. As the seasons change, so do Lo-Fi Girls, resulting in different times of day, weather patterns, and lighting color palettes. This type of upkeep is an impressive amount of work, especially for a free service, which today now has 14.3 million subscribers. However, in an effort to expand and release more frequent content does come occasional cuts and art style consistency. The channel expanded to have a secondary live stream of Lo-Fi Girl sleeping in bed the morning after her all-nighter study session, and at night changes into her getting ready for sleep. While the second stream does look really good, the character model and animation is not completely consistent with the original Lo-Fi Girl or Ghibli-style inspiration. I recently did a text interview with a lead animator from Lo-Fi Studios and asked them if they had a style guide to follow. They responded, "Sometimes Lo-Fi Girl can look a bit different from video to video. The character designs are constantly changing in small ways, like how strong a jaw is, or how the eyelashes or bangs are drawn. We're still nailing down a strict style, but we're getting there. Sometimes videos can take a year to come out, and the character style will have been edited since then. That being said, much like broadcast animation studios, each artist gets a lookbook with tutorials, do's and don'ts, and the why. I have contributed to the lookbook and style guide, and it has gotten very long."
However, in addition to the original stream, the channel has gone on to release 9 additional radios and 33 song playlists, all with unique animations and locations, ranging from 1 hour to 6 hour long run times.
This is where the art...
So what you're saying with the different looks, the different playlists, is that Lo-Fi Girl is multi-universal? That's what I'm getting! Slight differences in appearance, whether that's the eyebrows, the bangs, and different music playing at different time, or all at the same time. That's what I'm getting. There is a multi-universal Lo-Fi Girl universe out there. Like, literally, she lives in her own universe, and I'm glad that we can live in it with her.
Really starts to take variance in style and quality. Many of them feature Lo-Fi Girl in her home, but some of them have really helped expand the lore of her character, making her feel more like a round, developed person. We get to see more angles of her home.
Can you
and
find
also
all the
occasional
chilled cow
instances
references?
of her existing in public places away
There it
from
is.
her
It's on
French
the back.
apartment. There's also been very short uploads to announce special events,
on the
which
book. She
sometimes
graduated
can offer different
school.
camera angles of her environment, but also literally different angles of her face, creating a variance in her typical character model. These animations are also often lower frame rates to make these extra uploads more affordable.
She's got
and
Lego
possible.
hands.
Okay. You got me there.
But she has
But that
voices.
is not a crime.
The most common piece of lore people would often joke about is, will she ever get to stop studying? Although we've already seen her in bed finally sleeping, the joke still permeates comment sections. Even the channel themselves have posed this question, showing her finally stopping studying on April Fool's Day 2022. However, no matter how many streams and videos are created of her taking a break, she always winds up back in her chair working. That is, until one day, Lo-Fi Girl vanished. In 2023, the stream had Lo-Fi Girl away from her chair for many hours.
Oh, I like the chilled cow
and people
reference in the
began to
upper
wonder what
corner
was
there.
going on.
I have some breaking news. Unsettling news. I feel ill. I feel a little dizzy. Lo-Fi Girl is
She's gone. She's
she
gone.
has left her seat.
Wait, so does that mean that the lore of Lo-Fi Girl means that she actually sets up this camera and she sets up her live stream? This is that what it's showing to me? That's what it feels like to me. The lore really does run deep with this girl.
Fans started to discuss the blue window in the background. Some people might think it was new, but you could actually see the window in plain sight for years, as far back as 2020. They realized it was flashing Morse code, which redirected to lofiworld.com. Once the website's downloading bar finished, the new launch button would send you to a second live stream of a blue-lit bedroom, with a timer in the corner counting down to April 11th. After the girl disappeared, people kept checking the two streams, wondering what would happen. And after a while, people realized the stream was slowly zooming in on the window the entire time at a snail's pace for hours. But after a long wait, finally, Synthwave Boy came home.
Oh, his animation style is like way different. This is like the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Do his headphones have battery on it? Is that what the green and reds are? Where's the Chill Cow reference?
This launch was really exciting to me. For one thing, just the fanfare of pulling off an event like this is so artistically fulfilling.
That is kind of cool.
Seeing them elevate something as simple as a 24/7 music stream into a larger world that now feels lived in and exists outside the boundaries of the girl's bedroom. But also, the animation didn't cut corners. It has the same level of dedication to character animation quality as well as its beautifully painted background, which is filled with rich textures and different colored lights bleeding together.
Is a
Matching
gamer.
its synthwave music aesthetic, it has more references to retro pop culture from the real world
cool.
in a way that doesn't feel forced, but
R2-D2
rather
in
a
there.
natural depiction of a modern nostalgic student's home.
A lava
if you decide
lamp.
to play I Spy, you can notice Gundam, GameCube, the DeLorean, and more. And maybe most impressive of all, they did two rollouts. The first of which being from the girl's window perspective, giving us a left profile view of him and his room. But the second rollout was from inside his apartment, first showing us his living room and then his right profile, with a view outside his window that reveals Lo-Fi Girl's apartment in the background. The event offered 3 distinct background paintings by showing these 2 additional views of his apartment, aside from what would become the primary scene for Synthwave
He's just,
Boy.
what is he doing,
They also
coding?
had to
He ain't
create
playing no
variant
games.
animations for the 2
He's
angles,
just typing
including his
away.
dog sleeping and him using his computer mouse and drinking coffee. Shortly later, the channel also released a 3rd unique animation with the 2 a.m. Synthwave playlist depicting him and his dog chilling in bed. To be honest, I actually prefer the Synthwave Boy streams to the original lo-fi hip-hop. When this new genre and world released in the end of 2023, I became hyper-fixated on using these playlists to help me focus or unwind.
I love how the dog's
And the
sleeping
1 a.m. work
right
session
on the
and
back.
2 a.m. relax session playlists perfectly pair with those activities for me.
Yeah.
The music perfectly fits the vibe of being
The
up
snail.
at night, going from accomplishing
Jenny
some
Slate.
late night tasks with your last drops of motivation to falling asleep into some well-deserved rest. The moody lighting and blue and purple bi-color scheme perfectly matching the sound of the music and head state of being tired but at peace during the twilight
Night lights,
hours.
that's cool.
I think the biggest reason
got
the
the- he's
synthwave
got
playlists have helped me
Squidward's
study
house,
and
that's
focus
cool.
more than the lo-fi hip-hop streams is unfortunately, I find a lot of lo-fi hip-hop these days to feel either sad, sleepy, or both.
Yeah,
The
that's fair,
channel
I
itself
agree.
even indulges in this notion with their sad music playlist. And given that it takes a conscious search to find happy/warm lo-fi playlists, as they are presented as an alternative to the norm, I think it is a common sentiment that modern lo-fi music often sounds pretty melancholy. Synthwave, on the other hand, has a pulse of life, feeling at worst neutral and at best euphoric. It helps me feel determined and focused, and allows me to finally process some of my
I listen to
thoughts
house
with its
music
instrumental
personally. That's how
music.
I listen
It
to
is a
music.
nice break from my typical day's worth of word-heavy
House
entertainment,
music.
as I often listen to podcasts and rap music. What excites me maybe even more than my enjoyment of the music is the fact that
John
Lo-Fi
Hamm talking
Studios
about
even
Lo-Fi
made this
Girl.
at all, choosing to expand what it is they do, rather than keeping the same status quo to an infinity. I am someone who's exhilarated by artists or film studios pushing boundaries and trying new things. And the launch of Synthwave Boy got me excited as it redefined what to expect from lo-fi studios. It could be easy for them to make the original Lo-Fi Girl their one and only high-effort endeavor, and release a bunch of half-baked afterthoughts after that. But they decided when they drop, it will be quality.
Yeah.
Expanding their channel, which already had over 10 million subscribers with an entirely new music genre, was brilliant. Lo-Fi Girl perhaps represents the vintage side of comfort nostalgia, while Synthwave Boy visually appealed to the retro-futurism side of the spectrum, which felt like an exciting breath of fresh air. However, the excitement for new Lo-Fi Studios lore was far from over. A short few months later, in November 2023, the channel published the short film Lo-Fi Girl Snowman, a 3-minute film showing a glimpse of the character's backstory and who she is outside of her bedroom doing homework.
Why don't we lead with this? We're talking about a video about Lo-Fi Girl. I was going to say Lore-Fi. But the lore of Lo-Fi Girl? And they dropped a video. We ain't even talk about it until 16 minutes into this video. I'm just going to play it. I'm not bitter.
The film shows
the
girl taking a desk break in the city, but she becomes
are
emotional seeing a snowflake, making her recall a childhood memory so sweet it will make you swell with emotions.
People will say this is AI. Come on. It's not.
Her parents let her run away from their winter home with her mom's scarf and the family kitten.
And she never came back.
Her father and her make a snowman, and she gazes into the stars with wonder.
It's a snowman.
But the memory makes her burst with tears and head home.
Did her family die? Or is it just because she's in college?
As she staggers up the stairs, she even drops her books and accidentally shoulder checks the Synthwave Boy.
that's some deep lore right there.
Until eventually, her eyes glimmer again at the sight of a snowman constellation.
Oh yeah. Don't cry. Don't cry.
This film was really beautiful and has so much you can put into it with your own personal feelings. I'm sure I wasn't the only one who interpreted this film as possibly implying she has dead parents, which would make her alone in her room doing homework until the end of time in a big city all the more crushing.
It's even more depressing.
Although, it is entirely possible that she simply is facing homesickness and the existential dread of being a young adult during the holiday season for the first time, burdened by stress for finals, adult responsibilities, and less of a feeling of being taken care of by family as an adult. Whatever the case, I think that these emotional depictions of Lo-Fi Girl's outer world emotionally resonated with those watching the film. As an overwhelmed student or day job worker, it can be so easy to wish for things to be simpler again and have less responsibilities on your plate. Tragically, I myself have lost a parent in recent years, which has fundamentally changed how I view the world, people, family, and special occasions. I too will be forced to reflect on who and what I've lost this Christmas season.
Oh, and he had
I never know what it is that will set off these
thing on his
feelings, even if
desk.
it's just as simple as a snowflake. Sometimes I get...
Not gonna lie, I think Lo-Fi Girl... There are many questions about why that video sparked debate, whether her parents are dead, whether she feels homesick. I'm going to say that she is homesick, that her parents are alive and thriving. Yeah. We're going to say it right here. That's my opinion. But let me know. Let me know. Do you think that Lo-Fi Girl's parents are dead? Or are they still alive? And she's just sad that she's in college studying all the time, writing all the time.
To the mental trap that if I can make my environment as comfy and accommodating as possible, if I could have my room and computer desk set up as comfortably looking as Lo-Fi Girl
I gotta film this video.
Then I would finally be able to work distraction-free, far from my inner anxieties and neuroses. And
Bro
yet,
has been
even
working
when I
on this
get
video
things
for
tidied up
ages.
and gather everything I need to get started,
That's like 3 different
working and
seasons.
being alone can still be hard.
The leaves on the... What?
Watching the short film, it was cathartic and thematically fitting to see a character like Lo-Fi Girl go through real emotional struggle, as she is the symbol of someone who has the aesthetically pleasing bedroom many college students would want.
Even the cat.
With her cat by her side, her cozy sweater, and cute headphones, playing pleasant, non-distracting music, with a gorgeous city outside her window.
I get distracted by lo-fi music, actually.
I think it is increasingly common for us to use work, productivity, passive phone scrolling, and even positive hobbies to push away having moments of emotional reflection, inward check-ins, and just feeling our life.
If I keep my body moving and my mind occupied at all times, I will avoid falling into a bottomless pit of despair.
We must also marvel over the high achievement in animation and artistic quality this film brought. When the short came out, I was really blown away, and others were too, as it was on the YouTube Top 50 trending list and rose to 1 million views very quickly. The film has incredibly well composed shots of the city featuring fantastic lighting. The glow from the city lights and stars look amazing. There was so much painterly detail in her eyes as she wells up from memories.
She looks like an anime
and the small
character.
details in the snowflake
True.
touching her skin felt so impactful.
Through.
It feels like in this new era of new characters and new high
who is this
production
man?
value films, the channel is evolving past their original goal to replicate Ghibli as close as possible to now really stepping into their own art style. While their character designs and comforting aesthetics are still reminiscent of Ghibli, I would say that the lush colors, dynamic lighting, and maximalist digital painting style remind me of the works of Makoto Shinkai with his films Your Name, Garden of Words, and Weathering with You.
その世界の実在感みたいなものがこういうお化粧で随分変わってくると思います。
That's kind of cool to have lights
や
on
る
there.
わけではなくて、その絵の部分でどうすれば世界がより美しく見えるかっていうのを考えてやっていく。
The world and art of Lo-Fi Girl are evolving and becoming its own thing, one project at a time. And it makes me imagine how with a proper budget, this high level of quality the studio has managed to pull off would so easily translate well to a full series. And this is something fans began clamoring for as she crossed paths with Synthwave Boy as they went their opposite ways on the stairs. It made me excited wondering, are we going to get a Synthwave Boy short film of his own that reveals what he was doing out late at night? Would it be of equal animation quality, and could we learn more about his backstory and where he comes from?
That would be kind of cool.
Dropped, Vulture reached out to Lo-Fi Studios who said, "We aim to gradually unveil the lore, revealing it piece by piece, and we might address those questions in a future project." While I'm still holding out hope for a fully fledged Synthwave Boy film, that hasn't happened yet. Although 2024 has come with more film events. This time, both characters vanished from their desks in the regular streams and then launched a new video event on the channel. The two characters left their homes, and some of their actions were determined by polls voted on by live chat viewers, determining what objects they took with them. This implies the studio actually animated several unused assets as well.
That's
After
cool.
traversing the city,
cat's
they
going.
both wind up at the same park bench. However, they miss each other, arriving at different times of day.
And they're juxtaposed, they're opposites. Wow.
The boy leaves a note for the girl to find the next morning.
Like it's gonna be there. But it is! Because of course it is.
They both sit and clear their thoughts as they take a break away from work. These new streams for both characters were impressive, offering incredibly dynamic shots with complex background paintings, but it wasn't over. Surprisingly, the characters got up and we got more, leading to the two of them going home and arriving in 2 additional music streams. On one end, we now have dark ambient radio, music to escape and dream to for Synthwave Boy, perfect for his night getting lost in his thoughts.
That's kind of cool.
The music is a lower energy take on Synthwave, focusing more on slower, drowning sounds to conk out to. On the other hand, Lo-Fi Girl comes home to work a little longer in bed to the new peaceful piano radio.
This girl ain't ever stopped working.
Similarly, this is more low energy than her original stream, featuring no drum loops and only offering pretty piano keys for her cozy evening inside. This double event checked a lot of boxes, offering new, even simpler takes on their music genres, but also launched both a new live radio and playlist for each character.
Now, this is what I wanted to say. I like that they've used these events to bring in new radios and different styles of music. And obviously, there's so much on the back end that they've been working on, from the animation to what type of radio do they want to do, how they want to do it. And I like this blueprint that they've had from, okay, we want more. So we want sad ambient in music, in piano. So then let's make an event where they both, you know, kind of crisscross in these ways. And man, it's so cool. And it's so funny because freaking Lo-Fi Girl doesn't work. The grind does not stop for this woman. She is going off. She works hard, man. She works hard. I will say that.
A total of 4 new fully polished animations. The new live radios of them sitting in bed honestly now look higher quality to me than the original lo-fi stream, and more in line with the art style from the Snowman short film. The painterly background detail is amazing, and the lighting on her body and the room itself is very rich with colors and emotion. Similarly, the way the moonlight illuminates Synthwave Boy's room looks fantastic and really transports you to the headspace of being up at 3 a.m. in your thoughts. However, perhaps more impressively, the Park Bench playlists have so many little details, whether it is the lighting coming from the lamppost, or all the little critters moving around from the daytime squirrel and ducks, or nighttime owl and moths. These events continue to expand the world of these characters and make them feel more alive. Since then, there have been more Lo-Fi Girl disappearing events, such as when she took a plane ride from France to Japan for the launch of Asian Lo-Fi Radio. And more recently, her Daydream, which led to medieval Lo-Fi Radio beats to scribe manuscripts too. And even since then, literally today as I'm writing the end of this script, the channel launched a new playlist called Childhood Memories, showing Lo-Fi Girl with her friends as her father builds a treehouse set to chill guitar music.
And now there's yet another new radio for bossa nova music with the same childhood characters named Emma and Tiago. And if you're still wondering more about who Lo-Fi Girl is, these social media posts confirm that her name is Jade.
Jade, okay, yeah.
And finally, for one last piece of character lore fun facts, did you know about the secret 3 other Lo-Fi characters? In July 2023, the company Wattpad got an official Lo-Fi Studios animated character and playlist of their own, but that isn't all. In January 2024, the tech company OnePlus did an official collaboration with Lo-Fi Studios 2, creating this Lo-Fi character sitting at home with their Shiba Inu in the windowsill and Synthwave Boy on their desk tablet.
That's funny. That's
and most recently, there's been one more official Lo-Fi Girl with Zenless Zone Zero's character doing some work with their pet by their side in his anime-style bedroom. These characters are pretty niche as Lo-Fi Studios didn't even tweet about them. And I may have to accept that this video will always feel incomplete, because as hard as I'm trying to make the ultimate Lo-Fi Girl video, just in the last month of working on it, the new events on the channel just keep happening, and it seems like there's no slowing down in sight. Just now while editing, Lo-Fi Studios has launched yet another 24/7 radio. In this stream, Study With Me Pomodoro, Lo-Fi Girl walks to the library with her cat and begins typing on her computer, set to a 25-minute work timer in the corner. At the end of the timer, Lo-Fi Girl would switch to texting on her phone for a 5-minute rest cycle. I think it's great seeing Lo-Fi Studios incorporate rest into their animation, encouraging people not to work too hard. I found this old 2017 era Reddit post about the original Whisper of the Heart stream, people not knowing what it was back then, and folks even saying that their 50-year-old dad was enjoying the music too. But also, even back then, someone saying it was the only thing keeping them from losing it over their spring finals.
That's kind of, you know,
now, just 2 months later, on the date 11/11, they've released a cinematic trailer for a new jazz radio.
You know?
Jade reaches into a souvenir memory box where we see that she's probably a millennial growing up with Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS games, but also
millennial. I grew up.
So these old original iPod headphones. She looks through some photographs of her parents, which shows that they may have flown airplanes. The next photo of them sitting at a coffee shop inspires her to go study at one herself to remember them by.
There's a chill cow
Something
book
also
there.
to note. Jade picks up a symbol that makes her turn away with some sadness in her eyes.
Her parents are dead.
The symbol is the same as the patch on her dad's coat in the Christmas short film. It makes me wonder if her parents did fly planes, if this could be related to that somehow. In any case, I look forward to learning more about Jade's past and future films. Lo-Fi Girl has made its stake in pop culture. It is easy to see her in places that were not even intentional.
That's funny.
When I went to see A24's Priscilla, I felt embarrassingly internet-minded, looking at her in the first scene of the movie, studying in a 1950s German cafe. I couldn't help but think,
the bangs, the
Lo-Fi Girl
ponytail,
much?
the books, the window. They know.
If you're a student unwinding...
That's crazy to think that Lo-Fi Girl... That's so crazy to think that Lo-Fi Girl is like a part of the overall, what do you call it? Like, she has impact in A24 like mega blockbuster movies. That's insane. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, that's actually insane. Lo-Fi Girl lore really does run deep.
YouTube right now. I hope Lo-Fi Girl and Synthwave Boy bring you some peace and focus.
Yes,
I hope you enjoyed their short
100%.
films as much as I did. And I hope you pass your finals and go into the new year better than
Thank
the one
you.
before. I hope you get some well-deserved rest and aren't
Get a
too
big
hard on
stretch
yourself.
in right
And
now,
finally,
little
thank you
check,
to
you
Lo-Fi
know.
Studios for creating a modern YouTube legend. By transforming something that honestly could have been the lowest effort commitment ever into something so much more with full animated short films and physical presses of vinyl. Finally, I'd like to
Vinyl?
point out that despite being momentarily taken offline, the previous version of the main Lo-Fi Girl stream is still publicly listed on their channel. When you click on it, it says that it's still processing and not available for replay yet. And perhaps it'll never finish. But I love that there is a 20,000 hour plus long video on YouTube with nearly 1 billion views sitting at 668 million plays. A far cry from the website's original 10-minute video limit. This video sitting here serves as a reminder as to what they've accomplished so far and where they will continue going.
From Tall Skeleton, this was Zane Barry. Have a nice night.
Man, this was a great video. I am so glad that we got to learn a little bit more about, like, not even, this is crazy because I fully expected this video to be like the hidden details and like, oh, this thing came out and this talked about this, and it's just like this giant like crime scene board, but it wasn't. It was literally talking about like the founding lore behind Lo-Fi Girl. And I remember even watching Shokel back in the day, and I didn't even realize that now that that's Lo-Fi Girl, or maybe in my brain I thought they rebranded. It's so crazy. And this took me down memory lane, and I'm so glad that now some of the gaps are filled because there's so many lo-fi stuff out there. People trying to copy this and this matriarch of a student in France. So with all of that being said, let me know your thoughts on Lo-Fi Girl's lore down in the comment section below, because right now I am simply blown away.